We're excited. We're excited to be back again, right, Ghana?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Oh, yes. Now, welcome our viewers. We're excited to welcome you on Take a Pause. In today's segment, we are so excited, right, Ghana? Ghana, how excited are we?
Can you see we're in the new studio?
Yes. So we're in a new location. You're pondering like, yeah, what's going on? Something's changed. There's like no SJCC letters in the background.
Yeah.
We are in a new location. Ghana, let's tell viewers where we're located right now.
We are located in the new CEC Building that just opened this spring semester.
Yes, the new career education complex. Oh, yes. And one thing about this building, the beauty of it, from my lens, is I like at the very center, I would say, right, Ghana, of like seeing all our campus, as well we get a beautiful view of like the background, the mountains, the freeway, as well of our track and field. Very wonderful view, right?
Yeah, and I also feel like there's a lot of light in here, and especially I'm already taking my econ class in here, and I feel like I am waking up really when I'm in this building rather than before that when the building is like with the less windows and light, it feels a little bit, less cozy than here, I would say.
I like all like the windows. And for me, I'm actually teaching in this building, like all of my classes. And I really just like, I love the fact that when I'm teaching, I get to look out and I see like the track and field, or maybe there's like a game going on. So I'm like, oh, I got like front row seat. This is great. Now, we're excited because in today's segment, we are going to introduce you to our new San Jose City College president, Dr. Marilyn Flores. A little background about Dr. Flores. A first-generation college graduate and second language learner herself, Dr. Flores has held a variety of leadership positions over her more than 25 years of service, including most recently as superintendent and president of Rio Hondo College in Whittier, California, in Southern California. Ooh. As well, a Wheelhouse Fellow from UC Davis, Dr. Flores earned her PhD in Institutional Leadership and Policy Studies from University of California in Riverside. She also holds a master's degree in education from UCLA and a bachelor's degree in liberal studies with a concentration in education and Spanish, also from UC Riverside. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming here and talking to us today. We're very excited that you are our new president. And of course, the goal of this podcast is to get to know our JCC community better and to know who are we here with on our campus. And I believe that it would be very interesting for our students to learn about your background as well as what do you do outside of work.
Yeah.
I'm getting personal here, aren't we? So first of all, thank you for having me here. It's an honor, and it's wonderful to be in this brand new building, and it is gorgeous, as you mentioned. And what I really appreciate about it before we start is how we have a lot of spaces for students to engage.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good focus that whoever be my predecessors who had that vision, I'm lucky to have landed here to this building right when I started. But the vision, I think, is great. Very student-centered, nice little spaces for students and a lot of opportunities for them to engage. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me here.
And I love where we're at right now. We're like one of the lounge areas on the third floor, which is great. There's so much lighting in here, and then as well the couches, very relaxing as well.
And this is kind of cool that we are basically during the time when everybody is on their classes.
Yes.
So we can see some of the students who are like passing by, going from their classes, and it's like kind of a live type of podcast, and we've never done it before.
Yes.
We usually were in like a very closed studio. So it's definitely a new experience, and this is very exciting to start, our spring semester with this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Flores, before we go into more of as far as your role as president, we want to get to know you, right? Okay. What is Dr. Flores doing when she is not working?
Oh, my goodness, that's a tough one. Because sometimes in these jobs, you work over the weekends as well. One of the reasons why I really enjoy working in the California community college system and in the community college system itself is that word, community. Yeah. And I think it's a responsibility of any leader at an academic institution that we focus on that community.
Yes.
So sometimes on the weekends, I'm at community events representing the college, the leadership, and making connections, which I think is very important. So outside of that, though, I do like bike riding. I'm a cheater. I do have an electric bike, but I try not to use it. I try not to use the pedal assist as much. I'm very adamant about, no, I got to really. But when I'm going up that hill, I'm going to give it a little rev.
Yeah.
I do like being outdoors a lot.
Yeah.
Coming from Southern California, I love the beach, but I also like Northern California because I do like going on bike rides. Like I said, I like to go on walks.
Yeah.
I love the greenery out here. Adjusting to new allergies or additional allergies right now in the spring, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And of course, spending time with family, checking in on my mother, even if it's a phone call, loving technology, you can FaceTime now, but really just enjoying the environment, the outdoors. Not necessarily, I'm not the type that's going to curl up and read a book because I read all day long and it's not exciting sometimes. So I have to try to figure out a way to disconnect reading from work. But for now, I love the outdoors.
Do you have any favorite places or parks here that you found?
Not yet.
How about in SoCal?
In SoCal, there's a lot of going down the Santa Ana River. So you could ride down the Santa Ana River. You could stop by the Angel Stadium, pull off, get back on it, and you end up at the beach. And so it's an all-day event. So I'm looking at some of the bike trails out here. There's a couple that I have my eyes on. So I'll be trying those out as soon as I can get some downtime on the weekends. So definitely. There's a lot of really good bike trails out here. I just have to go spend, because it's a whole day. It's a whole day planning it. Making sure I've got my snacks and my water.
I would definitely recommend the Vasona River area. I usually go there with my parents just to bike around and walk around. It's a very nice lake area.
Okay, I'll make a note of that one. Thank you.
So Dr. Flores, I know that today we are, kind of talking about your experience in 25 years in education. It is so many years in working in the field and doing all this amazing work. So I think my question would be, how did you come up to this leadership experience? Did you have you felt like a leader all the time, or was there a moment when you were like, okay, well, maybe this is something I'm interested in, and you were just continue this work? Because I feel like for many students it is scary to start and put yourself out there. So I'm really curious about your experience in leadership.
So what's interesting is, first of all, I started when I was 12. Just kidding. I have 5 years actually in the K-12 system. So my first job was a 5th grade bilingual teacher. That's when I entered into the world of education and academia.
In SoCal?
In Inland Empire, SoCal, yes.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it is SoCal technically, right? So the Inland Empire area. So I was there for 5 years. So really, I've been in education for 30 years.
Wow.
5 years in K-12 as a 5th grade bilingual teacher, and then the rest of the remaining years in the California community college system. And part of it was I was a 5th grade bilingual teacher, and I was asked to work with a local community college, and they wanted to start talking about college and career in 5th grade. And so they wanted me to help create the curriculum from 5th grade all the way to senior, all the way to get a pathway into the community college. And so I had to work with all the instructors to come up with at least one activity that helped them focus on career or college, or career and college. So as part of that, I went through the whole thing, and about my last year of that, being in the K-12 system, I said, I felt like I couldn't do a lot if I wasn't an administrator, because, you have this kind of a tension between teachers and administrators, and I was like, I want to be that different administrator. I want to be that one that's really focused to support our teachers and our students. I want to be that different person. So I started venturing into that, and I was already being asked by the principal at that time to serve in leadership roles. So she wanted me to lead professional development. She wanted me to lead student discipline, because I was the classroom where they sent all the kids that were not behaved, and they certainly learned that I was able to manage them. And a lot of it was they were just misbehaving because they were bored. And so they started tapping me to do professional development. And then they said, can you be the vice principal or teacher on special assignments? So they took me out of the classroom to do a bunch of stuff that was administrative related. And that's when I said, I really want to be that different person. So I went back then. I had to go back to college to get the administrative credentials. when I did that, I was asked if I wanted to be, it's kind of a funny story, I'm trying to make it short, if I wanted to apply for a fellowship. I'm a first gen. I don't know what a fellowship is. I just heard the word ship, which sounded like scholarship. So I was like, absolutely. So I apply, and I get accepted to this. Unbeknownst to me, it was to obtain my PhD while getting my credentials, and that it was a fellowship, which meant I had to leave my full-time job. Granted, I'm a first gen, first time.
Yeah.
I just bought my first house, to participate in a doctoral program full-time. They would give me money to live off, but it was like half. So I went ahead and did it. Part of that was we had to do research with the local California Community College District. And the story begins there because I fell in love with the California Community College system because of our ability to have access to all students and the way that we really directly impact students. And then from there, I just moved up, director, associate dean, vice president, interim president, and now I'm here, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and so, Dr. Flores, if you were to go back to college one more time right now, what is one thing you would do different as a student?
One thing I would do is explore a little bit more.
Explore more, like clubs or resources.
No, I think I denied myself looking at work in the STEM field. So I really had a passion for like math and sciences, but I didn't see myself in those areas, and I wasn't steered in that way, unfortunately. The other is I look at like design and things like that, which I like as well. So I don't think that I really explored some of those ideas, and I know that I didn't have guidance. I went straight from high school to a 4-year because I did not know that California Community College existed. And as you know, at the 4 years, you don't get as much wraparound services as you do with community colleges, which is why I fell in love with community colleges. You don't get the opportunity to really explore or have so much time with counselors, advisors, peers, mentors. It's very different. And so I went in as a business economics major because I love numbers. And then in my world, I thought, I can't do that because in order to make a profit, that means that I have to take the money from somebody, and I felt guilty. So I really wanted to go into a more philanthropic type of area by the time I moved in, but I really felt like I didn't look into the STEM areas because I really am fascinated by the sciences. And so that was the only thing I would say is take a deep breath, explore. Just because you don't see women in sciences at the time, we're talking a long time ago, most of the instructors were not women or of color. So I just, I didn't even look at that. And I sometimes when I go out to these, I watch students at the research seminars and they're so excited about science, or I do science camps and stuff like that. I just go, oh man, I wish that missed opportunity.
And see, one thing about our campus that I love is that we have a MESA program as well that definitely supports our students in STEM, which is fabulous.
And none of that existed back in those days.
I also just thought that we just got our new club, Women in STEM. Which is also really great that we have more like women leadership kind of clubs where we can just go and, talk to our peers and professors and other people who went through this way to kind of learn from them, because I feel like it's definitely something.
And we have amazing partnerships. Right? And we have partnership with NASA and so forth. And the individuals that come here are very diverse. So students can see themselves in them, right? Our faculty here are very diverse as well, especially in the STEM area. And that's something to be proud of because those are opportunities that don't exist everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. And then Dr. Flores, I wonder, you're in this new amazing role here at SJCC. What would you say your vision for the future of SJCC, for our students, for our faculty?
I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of really good work going on here. This institution is really been welcoming, and everybody's coming forward with wonderful ideas, and they just feel like they need that support. They want to carry their vision. And so truly my vision is to advance the vision of those that are here. And how do I support them? Because there's a wonderful work here, and now they just want to elevate that. And so really just connecting the dots where have the gaps been and how can I support. I never come into an institution and say, this is my vision, because I need to learn the institution. I need to understand the culture. There's a lot of listening that has to go on first.
Yeah.
And so that's my vision, is to become a part of the institutional culture, and to really connect with our students, our classified professionals, our faculty, our administrators, to see where are we at now, why are we here, where do we want to go, and what can I do to support to get us there. Very student-centered, this is why we're here. And so if anybody comes with an idea, my first question is, so tell me how this is going to impact the students.
Right.
And it's great to hear that they have ideas. So that's my vision, is to really elevate what we do, the good work that we do, and to providing support and connect the dots.
I can definitely say that on behalf of the Comm Studies and Mass Media Department, you've been very supportive, and I appreciate that, and I thank you, because we just had our Let Your Life Speak auditions, and you were there. You were one of the members of the committee, right? And so we thank you for that, because you're there taking that time. You're working with the faculty, but also you're meeting our students, and that means a lot when they're like, "Oh, this is our president. Oh, this is amazing." I know one of my students actually after had said, "This is great that I got to meet the president, and that she's even here like watching me deliver my presentation." So thank you.
Just next time, don't put me in the front row, because when I introduced myself, I could see they were looking at me like, "Oh, the president's here," and I'm like, I'm normal. Just put me in the back. And the same thing happened yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think so. I can't lose my day's track. I went to go watch the basketball game, the women and the men's, and it was for Black History Month sponsored, and halftime show and everything. And one of the students was doing a halftime show, and he was doing a rap. And I had met him through another meeting and met him through student government. And so he's sitting there and he's doing that, and I'm like bobbing my head. And then he looks at me and he's like saying words, and then he notices it's me. And then it threw him off, and I could tell, and he started laughing, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, just keep going, And so that's one of the things that students will always say, wow, you're so normal. And it makes me wonder, like, what does that mean? So I really try to normalize myself with the students so they could see when I'm in the elevator talking to them. And
you're approachable.
Yeah.
I try. I mean, I'm normal.
I was nervous in the beginning. I'm like, this is our president for speaking. But you're
me too,
approachable.
Because our first interaction was during all administrators meeting when I was getting like the salon presentation with Q&As. And I remember Daniel was like, well, we will go after and you will be the president. I was like, oh, I will be the president.
Like, I go for a I'm like, I was nervous. I'm like, this is the president. I'm like, oh no, I have to do another retake. But I have to say that, like, yeah, you're very approachable, and I feel calm. Like, yeah, so thank you.
I'm just me,
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Flores, for coming here today and talking to us. We're very excited for your vision for the future of SJCC and what's going to happen next.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this segment. In our next segment, we will actually have one of our learning communities at SJCC, which is Umoja, and we're going to have Donntay and Q, the guy who was a reading rep and PE rep at the basketball event recently. So definitely stay tuned and let's watch that episode together.
I grew up where kids weren't expected to go to college. We just got whatever job we could to pay the bills. I felt I had no other choice. There was no role models to show me anything else. At San Jose City College, I experienced the transformational power of education. I was empowered when learning about social movements in this country, and I realized that I did have a choice. I decided then to forge my own path and become a role model for my family and for my community. Choose your own path. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
Hello. We are so back with our next segment of Take a Pause. And of course, we're very excited to see you all here, guys, watching our podcast. And of course, as we all know, Take a Pause is very pro-student podcast. We are here to educate our students about our community at SJCC, as well as show how many amazing people we have here on campus. And today we are very excited to have Umoja as our guest. So Umoja is dedicated to enhancing cultural and educational experiences of African American students and other students at community while increasing graduation and transfer rates.
We believe that when the voices and histories of students are deliberately and intentionally recognized, the opportunity for self-efficacy emerges and the foundation is formed for academic success. Umoja actively serves and promotes student success for all students through a curriculum and pedagogy response to the legacy of the African diaspora. So today we are very excited to welcome Donntay, our program coordinator for one of our learning communities.
Hey.
Yes. And as well as Qwavario Ford, one of our comm studies major. I did not know that.
Yes.
Hey, comm studies.
We got another one.
Yes. So we're excited to have you here, on our Take a Paws podcast. Are we excited, Ghana?
Yeah, we're very excited. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
And of course, before we're going to start learning more about the program, can you guys introduce yourself, share a fun fact about yourself, and what are you doing outside of SJCC? What are your hobbies or interests?
Oh, yeah. I can start. I guess I can start with a fun fact. I'm not just the program coordinator for Umoja community. I'm also the coordinator for Puente project, our LEAP AAPI student learning community, also the Lavender learning community, our American Indian Alaskan Native Student Resource Center, and then I also program coordinate the San Jose Promise program.
Oh, you're busy, Donntay.
Yes, I got jobs on jobs. Okay.
All right.
And then, so I'm Donntay. I say a fun fact about me is that my name is Donntay. A lot of people are just like, where'd you get your name from? And I make lies. I'm like, yeah, my mom was into literary, poetry. Donntay Alighieri is like, no, my mom's name was Donna. And she was just like, oh. Donntay from Donna. Hello.
Yeah.
That's how I got my name. But yeah, other than that, I like working. I like chilling with my cats at home. I have 2 cats, Bagheera and Raja. Bagheera's black and Raja has orange on her because Princess Jasmine's cat is orange. But yeah, that's literally what I do besides work with my student assistant. Hang out with you guys.
Nice. We're excited.
All right. Hi, my name is Qwavario Ford. This is going to be my second year here. Things I do on campus, let's see, I'm part of VSU. I'm part of a MEM, which helps a lot of black males on campus as far as our education and things along that nature. And then outside of SJCC, I do coaching. Just took that up. And also, big thing is I do music. I literally just performed the other day at during halftime. That was a pretty cool experience. But I just like doing a lot of hobbies. I like working on my car, working out, going outside, and just being around my community and things along that nature. Yeah.
Very nice. And so a follow-up question for you, Qwavario, is how did you first hear about Umoja, and what made you want to also get involved?
Okay, so so
recruitment efforts worked.
Yeah, I got a sister. She went here, and then she would tell me about this program called like Umoja. I was like, okay, what is this? And so I pulled up sometimes, and I saw this person. She's like, hi, like, what's going on? I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, she got.
I love Donntay. Donntay has some energy. I'm like, yes, Donntay.
Yeah, so
Wanted by Red Bull. I need to be sponsored.
Yeah, so it was just crazy. I'm like, okay, and then I saw the room, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I started meeting more people, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm part of Umoja. I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. So I pulled up, and it was just a great community. Everybody was nice. Everybody was friendly, and so.
Very nice.
That's how I heard about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
How about you, Donntay?
I would say going back to when I first started working in higher education, because I've been in higher education for a while now, and then at my previous community college, they had the Umoja community.
Yeah.
So then when I came here, I had a different position, but then when my current position opened, I was like, oh wait, I'm aware of the Umoja community, and then I got to be involved with the other learning communities too. So it was a great way for me to be hands-on with students, because I really do love like that one-on-one interaction. I love breaking that barrier between like employee and student, because I feel like that's a great way for students to feel involved, feel listened to, feel engaged. The fact that I have this relationship with Qwavario is not because it's like part of my job. This was intentional because again, the fact that I can be like, hey, Q, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you interested in? And then I can make those things happen. It's only because we have that relationship and I'm allowed to talk to my students like that. And then it's just another thing because Umoja is actually regionally based. So it's statewide in California. So we're not just coming up with like requirements out of thin air. Like the state chancellor's office says you have to do X, Y, and Z, and we try to hit those points. And then we also get to be involved with the other Umoja communities within the community colleges within our region. So like Ohlone Community College, West Valley, De Anza, Mission, we get to have camaraderie with them during our Umoja conferences. We just had one in our backyard, so they got to meet like other Umoja students. So it's like the learning community is not just like, oh, we're making you take these classes, but we're also like letting you know that there's not just you guys here. You have a community within your community, your learning community.
And I appreciate you sharing that because I wanted to sort of explore more and learn more. So yeah, thank you. That really helped me out.
I'm a yapper, so
I love
just cut me off when you
like,
do.
I'm ready. We have the information.
And I know that you guys pretty much shared, you know, your experiences with Umoja, but I wonder, is there anything in specific that makes the program unique? I know I already heard that, you know, you guys have the whole community, and I feel like this is great, you know, that you not only know people in your college, but you can go ahead and meet so many new guys and girls outside.
I mean, just the overall events that like we organize, it's just like it's something like I don't really see
field trips.
Yeah,
I heard y'all went on the field trip.
Yeah, we be going out there, and I mean, I've been to some campuses. I don't really see a lot of that, and it's really nice, and it's just it just gives us more of an opportunity to like outreach to other students and just, you know, get more student engagement. But other than that, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing is just community. Like it's just amazing. Like it's just, I feel like it's like kind of like a family in some type of way. It's like I feel comfortable, you know, going into Donntay and other people in the group, and we just like we don't even have to talk about school. We just talk about life, and I think that's the biggest thing I like about Umoja, because me growing up, I grew up in Arizona, so there wasn't a lot of people like me. So when I came out to California and went to a program like this, I was just like, this is cool. You know, this is cool. Like seeing people like me, and it just, I don't know, it made me fall in love with my culture even more. So,
Very nice.
I would say, yes, it is very like African diasporic pedagogy, but you can be an Umoja and you don't have to identify as that. Another cool thing is that Umoja has 18 principles. So we tried to incorporate them with all of our learning community, within Umoja community specifically. And one of my favorite principles is everybody's business. And that's essentially meaning that it's like, we are going to check your GPA. We're going to see, we have meetings within our faculty because we have two faculty that teach the English class. We also have an African Studies class. So Umoja community, you have to take required courses that actually help you transfer.
Okay.
So we have meetings within those faculty and be like, hey, is this person not showing up to class? I will give them a phone call, give them email, like, hey, I see that you're not showing up to class. Is there any way that I can help you?
Okay, yeah.
Do I need to connect you to like in the
that's
resources on
good
campus?
system.
So it's like a everybody's businesses type situations, like knowing that it's like a village. Umoja is really keen on verbiage. Like we don't call our students, we call them Umoja scholars because we want them to be ingrained like they are scholars. They're not just students, they're scholars, meaning that they can learn, they can teach, but it's an everyday type situation. And then our safe space, we call it a village. So every Umoja village is called an Umoja village. So that way the verbiage is across the board. So I think that that's like very unique to the Umoja community experience.
So one thing I definitely want to circle back, Qwavario and Donntay, is walk us through some of these fabulous events you've been having on campus. And also, can you also let like our viewers know, and me and Ghana, the field trips as well that you have gone to? Because they were out of state from what I've heard. So let us know.
Okay, so I mean, recently we just had a cookout, you know, because I know a lot of people, they haven't really been to like a black person.
Yes, the proverbial cookout.
Yeah. So like we had events like that, and then recently we just had a double header basketball game the other day, so that was cool. But the event, like the field trips, like we went to the HBCU. We went to HBCUs, and it was just outstanding. It was like, and the thing is, like, we didn't have to pay for anything. Like, so it was really nice, and it's just really made a lot of us just open our eyes to like the possibilities out there. And it's just like we went to I went to Morehouse, I went to Clark Atlanta, places like that, but also we go out universities out here, like in California. Like we went to Sacramento State. We went to where else we went to?
SF State.
SF State.
Wow.
Yeah,
Go
so
Spartans.
that's the thing. That's something I could really appreciate this program is putting the students out there to have those opportunities and see like, okay, there's more than just, just here, So it's just, and it just makes us like want to do like work toward that, academically. So I think that's one of the cool things about it.
And it has to think about, because you're going to be transferring, right?
Yeah,
You're thinking about your bachelor's, but also even graduate school, right?
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just truly amazing. I'm so grateful for this program because to be honest, I didn't know where I was going to go after this. I was like, okay, whatever. And then, but like going on these field trips, it's just like, okay, wow. And sometimes like we don't even just go to university. We just go to like where we go to like just. We went to a couple of events like outside of.
I know we went to the Black Joy Parade
Yes,
in Oakland
yes.
a couple of years ago. It happened during Black History Month. I do believe it's going to happen on the 21st in Oakland or 22nd in Oakland on a Sunday. So we got to take our students there so they can understand like the experience outside of San Jose because a lot of like Qwavario's from Arizona, so a lot of people are just.
Oh,
like,
Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh,
he is not from California.
No, yeah.
Breaking news.
I've been
from Arizona.
Yeah, I lived in 4 different states, and so now I'm here. But it's cool. But yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just talking about the HBCU tour regarding graduate school.
Yeah.
3 years ago, we went to the East Coast. We went to Morgan State, which is now my alma mater. So again, it's not just inspiring our students to go to HBCUs, but it's also inspiring me. It's not necessarily Umoja sponsoring the HBCU tour, but a lot of our students that go on the HBCU are Umoja students. Because again, we have transfer agreements with HBCUs just as well as UCs
Oh, very
and
nice.
CSUs. Yes, so out of the 101 HBCUs we have agreements with 39 of them. So it's pretty much just like the tag agreement. Like, hey, save a spot for Ghana because she did 60 units, you can transfer. And the cool thing about HBCUs, you can either transfer with 12 units or 30 units. So you don't have to be considered like a junior standing to transfer to the HBCUs. So again, it's like a great way to understand and just get new experiences that you may not have. A lot of times our students have never been on an airplane before.
Nope.
And it's just like, here you go. We're going to throw you into the South.
You're
And
networking.
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a great opportunity for our students. And we also, again, just because it's for free doesn't mean that you don't have to do things afterwards. We do give presentations to the board after we come back. So we do go with our sister college, Evergreen Valley College. So again, keeping that community within our community, and then they go and talk to the board about the presentation.
Yeah,
nice.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then imagine that the student doesn't know anything about the program but wants to get involved. What are their steps? Where they should go? What are the office hours? How they can get
And
involved? Basically.
where is as well the office location?
Yes.
The office is actually located in LRC. It's going to be at the library, but it's the first floor. And then you just could go to the, was it the help desk or whatever? And then, they could direct you. But you could really just see Umoja and you're going to see us because, like, we always loud. So, we're black and proud. So, like, you'll see us. But as far as getting a part of the program, I would say, you go to you or Miko, just counselors, and then try to add the program and they take you from there. But it's a straightforward process. I mean,
there's like an application. So contrary to like how Puente does a cohort per academic year, we do a rolling admissions. So you can become an Umoja student in the spring, you can become an Umoja student in the fall. It doesn't matter. There is an application. So if you just come to the L106, or you can just like find me and email me and I'll have you apply. And then we connect you to our academic counselor because each learning community, just like Umoja, has their own academic counselor. So imagine it's like a 80-to-1 ratio as opposed to like 1,000-to-1 ratio. Miko's really receptive. So she will be your personal academic counselor if you do become an Umoja student. And then the next step is just maintain a 2.5 GPA, enroll in our cohort classes. If you've taken them already, that's fine. We do require that you come to our events at least twice a semester just to remain a Umoja student.
Well, that's awesome. And then lastly, business hours.
Yes. So just like the LRC, we're open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 7 p.m. And then on Fridays, 9 a.m. to 1. If you ever need to contact me, you can just knock on my door or you can just send me an email. But business hours are pretty much the same hours as the LRC.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Qwavario and Donntay, for joining us.
Thank you.
We're very excited you were able to join us for this amazing segment.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for this segment. And stay tuned, because next we will be meeting with the VP of Administrative Services at SJCC, and we will be talking more about this new building we're in right now. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for coming.
Growing up, I thought basketball was my best path, one shot to success. At San Jose City College, that all changed. My mentors saw more in me than I saw in myself and showed me that I could be anything. No one in my family had ever graduated from college, but I knew I had an obligation for future generations. At San Jose City College, you can go anywhere you want to go and be anything you set out to be. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
And we are back with our last segment for today, and we will be talking more about the new CEC building. And we're actually here today, as we shared in our previous segments. We're recording this in this kind of new studio for us and for everybody, because usually we're in a pretty small space doing our podcast. So today we're definitely doing something different and interesting. And I don't know about you, but I feel like it's very interesting how, we have students and faculty kind of passing by the podcast.
People are like walking by and like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. So like Anna had mentioned, we're going to be discussing the new CEC building, the Career Education Complex building. And so right now, as you've noticed, right, from our first segment to like our last one, like the lighting probably changed a little bit, right? Because now it's more like evening, right? More relaxed.
Golden hours.
The golden hours. We're even like, we're picking up like the smell of food. People, students are heating up some food. Like, I'm getting a little bit hungry, right? So to learn more about this building, we actually have a special guest, our Vice President of Administrative Services, Christopher Hawken. Woo!
Thank you for coming.
Yes, we're excited you're here with us today. Oh yeah, we've been wanting to have VP Hawken visit us since like the fall semester. So we're happy you're here for the spring semester. Yes. And so a little background about our Vice President of Administrative Services. Vice President Hawken, number one, oversees this fabulous building and also got to oversee the beginning process, right? Planning to I remember like the past academic years, like the building, as far as like construction wise, to like now present time, we actually are inside the building, right? Which for me, I'm like, I can't believe we're in here. And one fun fact is I teach in this building and I love it. I love the lighting in here. It's great.
It's a gorgeous building. It's absolutely lovely. Yeah. And remember, it started in the middle of the pandemic when we started doing all the demos.
And see, I wasn't here like in 2020, but when I learned about that, I'm like, wow, that's pretty neat, right? Yeah. So a little bit about VP Hawken and, of course, educational background. You've earned your master's degree in the University of California at Berkeley. Yes. Also studying. Yeah.
He also earned a master's in business administration from Columbia Southern and administrative service certificate from St. Mary's College, California, as well as a postgraduate certificate in education and bachelor's degree from the University of London, which is very interesting. I've never heard about that university, but it's definitely interesting to learn that. So I know VP Hawken, today we're more going to talk about the new building and, the excitement of students to start their new semester here. But first, we want to learn more about you and about your role at SJCC. So definitely, if you could share with us, what does your day look like usually at SJCC? What do you do? What are your responsibilities that would be?
So I had to write down all my responsibilities because otherwise I was going to forget an area or forget somebody or something. So excuse me if I peek at my notes as I say it, but really I kind of have all the sort of the operational side of campus. So that's everything from fiscal to buildings to grounds to custodial services, all the things that sort of make campus tick behind the scenes. So when everybody shows up, when the students show up and the faculty show up and the employees show up every day, campus is looking ready for them and hopefully fully operational for them. A few snags in our new building as we work through it, but that's really the gist of what I do and what I oversee. Also what we call CTSS, which for most people is IT. So all the technology and all the classrooms and the campus and the operations. So we always work our way through that, on a weekly and a daily basis. And then kind of what a week looks like. Unfortunately, as many people can attest to on campus, there's a lot of meetings.
Yes.
And Believe it or not, for this building, for example, there were actually over 400 meetings, and they were the main meetings. In addition to that, there were lots of side meetings about specific areas and specific topics. So meetings are always good when you come out of it with some action and something to do. And that's been the great thing about working here is the presidents here have been really focused and action driven. So we've always been able to, take action. As you can see, you're sitting in a building that took some action and a lot of other activity around campus. So it's really the operational side, making sure things tick and everything works. And then, of course, if something doesn't work, sorting out how it does work and making sure it's ready for the next round of classes and for the students.
Yeah. Very nice. And so VP Hawken, when you're not working, what are you doing?
When I'm not working, what I'm doing, my background sports. And so, I was an athlete pretty much most of my life. My brain still thinks I'm 25 and an athlete, but my body unfortunately doesn't always agree with that. But in the past, I was, I had a professional soccer contract back when I was at the ripe old age of 15 and a half. So where I grew up in London, you can sign what they call schoolboy forms when you have your 15th and a half birthday. And that's also the day that you're allowed to drop out of high school. And so I was planning on dropping out of high school and playing soccer that was my career. That's what I was going to do. Between my dad and a teacher, Mrs. Fox, never forget her, basically took me aside and threatened me several ways and told me not to leave school because if I had, I obviously wouldn't be here doing this stuff today. So sports has been a big part. I played semi-professional soccer for a long time. I was also a decathlete in college as well as soccer. And then that fun sport that I like to explain to people called cricket, played a lot of cricket, which actually has come to the Bay Area recently with a professional cricket team playing out of the area. So that's been kind of fun. So a lot of sports, a lot of activity, doing those sorts of things, coaching. And then, as my kids grew up, coaching my kids. I was lucky enough they got college scholarships to play sports too. So that's been a big part of what I've done. My other thing that I've always loved is old cars and rebuilding cars. I grew up in a part of London. We didn't have a lot as kids. I'm still the only one in my family that's ever driven a car. And I have more than overcompensated for that now. So I've bought a lot of old British sports cars, MGs, Triumphs, and some German ones, some old Porsches and Mustangs.
Wow.
So I kind of rebuild them and play with them and sell them and get another one and then regret selling the one I got. So try to find another one just like it. So a lot of stuff with that. And then the strange part that people really don't know is I grew up, as I was finishing up college, these things called computers materialized. And nobody had ever really seen them or done them. And I guess my logical mind just was able to apply to it. So I actually wrote computer software for a while and had a little company on the side doing fitness software and exercise physiology, fitness testing software and stuff like that. So that was in sort of the mid 80s that I was doing that. So, but along the way, the theme behind everything, has been sports, and then just and my mind is one of those logical maths minds. My degrees were in math, so I kind of just continued that through, and then ended up in this amazing job at this amazing place here at City College.
Very nice. I think the campus we should host one all-day, sports day. We can all come out and play, and we'll have soccer as well.
Students have actually been talking about, I think, having a sports day. Yes,
there you go.
They were just sharing that at the board meeting the other night.
Oh, there you go.
Well, thank you for sharing this interesting part about yourself, and as we learned earlier about your degrees and education overall, you have been studying everything from the neuroscience to business. Have you ever had a dream career or a goal that you were going and working towards?
Well, I think the dream was back when I was 15. A lot of young men and women, boys and girls, think about playing professional sports. And it was, I got to play professional, but it was one of those things back in those days, there wasn't a lot of money in it, not like there is today, that's for certain. And that's when, my teachers said, stay in school, which then led the route to college. And so out of that, it was, still playing semi-pro, but that's when I became a coach. And so coaching was kind of the big thing. And then what I have found in my career is I've people come up to you and say, you know what, you could help more people if you did this. and then you could help more people if you did that. So I was coaching and then had the arm twisted to be an athletic director.
Yes.
And then, well, you've got a business mind. We need to help you out on the business side.
Yeah.
And then somebody called me up, said, hey, we need some help. Come down here, be a vice president of business. So I kind of did that. And that kind of led to this. But so, I mean, the dream, you know, I wouldn't say the dream ended because, like I said, my mind still thinks, oh, I could still play. But as my son reminds me, I'm old and no, I can't.
But
play
I can see that passion, like for soccer. I can see it there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
No, there's folks on campus here. We talk soccer. We talk European soccer. We talk. There's some big games, and then obviously the World Cup's coming here in a couple of months.
Yeah. Are you excited? Are you gonna go?
I got my tickets. So
Okay.
Yeah, I waited 4 hours online to get my tickets.
What?
So, yes. Yeah, I got my tickets. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's gonna be fun.
Very nice.
And I actually went to the World Cup out here in 1994 too.
Really?
When it was back in the Stanford area. So yeah.
Wow, very nice. So one question I want to go ahead and ask now, transition into discussing this building that you oversee. I wasn't here at San Jose City College, neither was Ghana here in 2020. So I would really love to know like the backstory of like how did this idea come about with having this building at San Jose City College?
So I think the concept actually predated me. It was back in 2018 and 19, pre-pandemic, and the discussions were happening, and they were just talking, you know, sort of concepts and ideas and thoughts. And as with most things, that kind of evolved.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and obviously that slowed a lot of things down. So kind of where you're sitting here, but on the ground level, there was a building that's the equivalent to the other buildings here on campus. So there was the 300 building that had to get demoed. And actually on the west side here, there was a CT extension building. And so when you're coming from that back parking lot H into campus, you actually used to walk into a very narrow corridor. And so we demoed both of those buildings, which has opened up the big corridor to walk in. And as I alluded to before, then there's all, you know, the 400 meetings, all the constituent groups, you know, classified faculty, managers, community members, all engaged and involved in multiple meetings. What should it be? What should it look like? What should it house? Who should be in there? And then one of the biggest decisions that we made very early on was to do something called design build. So often what you do is you just design a building and then you build it. Whereas what we do, design build, that gives you a flexible way of doing things. So even as you're designing it and starting to build it, there's still some flexibility that's allowed to happen as you do that. And obviously once you get some permanent pieces in, it becomes less flexible the further along the building gets. But that actually, in education, you know, 5 years, 6 years is a long time and things change. So what that allows, you know, maybe you were going to have program X in here, and then things change, and so you switch it up to program Y in here. So we were able to do that along the way. So yeah, just a lot of planning going back, you know, 6, 7, 8 years. And then as we got into the main part of it, you saw everything come down. We've been living with a fence here for a long time. And then just the last few months, the fence has come down. And already you can see it's part of campus. And I actually had Dean of the Dark duties last night. And I was wandering through this building about 7:30, and it was packed. And that was really exciting because before this building opened at that time, there was nobody on campus because LRC had closed, Student Center had closed. So for a lot of our night students, not a lot of opportunities, but they were hanging in the cafe area, hanging in the lounges. Like this, in the meeting rooms. It was really fun the other day. I walked by, and in one of the lounges, they had the whiteboards out, and they had students, they were writing equations, they had quadratic equations going, and they were working as a group in class. So I think, you know, from the beginning to, you know, where we are today, it's just been a fantastic journey. So it's been you know, challenging, but it's been exciting. And I think the opening day for the students, to me, that still makes my hairs, you know, pop up on my arms because they were coming in, wow, this is amazing, this is great. Greatest quote I heard one of them say was, oh, this makes me feel like I need to study. And I'm like, well, that's exactly the idea. It's supposed to be the inspiration.
Definitely.
And then we also know that there is going to be a ribbon cutting and official opening of the building.
Correct.
When should we expect to come here for?
And what's happening at the event as well?
So it's still being worked on, but the date is set. So save the date, 15th of April, and starting around 5 p.m., probably a little bit earlier for some folks, but around 5 p.m. to about 7, 8 p.m., there'll be a formal sort of, you know, ribbon cutting. There's going to be some dance. There's going to be some entertainment. There's going to be some tours of the building. There's going to be sort of some VIPs. Opportunities for our foundation to engage in the local community, show them the building, potentially generate funds for our students. So big day on the 15th of April. So mark that down. There'll be a lot more information to come. Right now it's a save the date as the planning is going ahead.
And so VP Hawk, and I know you mentioned tours. Now, for our viewers that are watching, right, that I'm sure they'll be joining us here very soon. What are some features you can highlight that this building offers for our students, for our faculty, for the Jaguar family?
Well, I think there's kind of like a spot. Pardon my spot pun. There's a spot for everybody in the building. You're sitting in the lounges. There's 3 lounges like this that are absolutely gorgeous. And again, I see students tucked in the corners. It's fascinating, because the weather's been cool and damp.
Yes.
And one side of the building gets a little bit more direct sun than the other side. So it's interesting to see the students hugging the windows and getting the sun.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in 3 or 4 months, they'll be on the other side of the building, maybe in the shade a little bit. But I think the lounges have clearly been a hit with the students right away. Some of the small meeting rooms, I've seen students in there with group work. I've seen faculty working, one-on-one, doing some tutoring with the students, some extra work with our students. So that's been fun to see. We have a lot of specialty spaces in the building, from the ground floor up. On the ground floor, there's an absolutely amazing auditorium space, state-of-the-art space. It's actually an indoor-outdoor space, so you can actually bifold the doors all the way back and incorporate there's a little outdoor seating section as well. So you can open it up to the outside, but you can also pull the blinds down and make it private and enclosed. And again, high technology space to do all this soundproofed, lots of microphones and all that sort of stuff. We also have on the ground floor emergency services classes. There's a specific classroom for those guys and officers for that program. And then you jump up to the second floor, we have the medical assisting program. And I would encourage everybody on campus, if you can't get in, to take a little look. Peek through the windows. Absolute state-of-the-art facility. The faculty in that area did a fantastic job engaging with the campus and the planning process to really create a state-of-the-art facility for our students. It's computerized. It has the mannequins. It has the baby mannequin, so the instructors can set up scenarios for our students to work on in the medical assisting environment. We have a digital music art studio where they have rendering laptops, and then they have permanent rendering stations to do their work in that space. Again, we have on the 4th floor an incredible state-of-the-art HVAC lab, 3 rooms there. They can actually set up and design. It's a high-power lab, so they could use all the tools. But there are actually structures built into the ceiling of one of the labs where they can actually recreate a HVAC system, so they can hang all the ductwork and actually design a system, actually see it and look at it and see it in action. So a lot of spaces like that. We have 2 podcasting studios.
Yes.
Are pretty cool. So we're waiting to see how those work out. How one of the ideas there was part of the thought there was that faculty might be able to want to record classes as we got into sort of that online age. And again, this is a great thing with the design build.
Yes.
We got a couple of years into that and we realized, well, the faculty have already figured it out. They're doing it at home. They're doing it in their offices. So are these spaces going to be used? And so we started.
Well, we can use it, Ghana, for Take a Pause.
We were aware there might have been this little podcast on campus. And so we started talking. It's like, well, why don't we set up a podcast space so the students, if they want to make TikToks, if they want to do their own little podcasts. So we set it up as a couple of chairs, a little table, the lighting, the mics. So everything's in there to set up podcasts so they can go in. And it's sort of designed to be a plug and play. You walk in with your iPhone or your iPad, you plug in and you have at it. So there's some of the fun little spaces like that. So I don't want to miss anybody out in the rooms. So a lot of regular classrooms. We also have what we call high flex classrooms. And so the high flex classrooms have ceiling mics built in. They have a camera built in.
For the co-synchronous teaching.
Yes. So you can actually control the camera, zoom in, zoom out, look at the students. Dual screens drop down. So all the classes have a new system that is called a QSYS system. So the idea is it's very user-friendly initially. It can go way deep and you can do crazy stuff with it. But otherwise, faculty should be able to walk in, plug a laptop in and just have at it with the students. So Yeah, it's a pretty amazing space when you start to look around it. The lobby area is amazing. We designed that with sort of a gathering place in the stairway. And so you'll see the stairway, and then we got the big screen up there.
Yes.
So we could show videos, we could show games. So World Cup games might be on there during the summer. Never know.
We're going to see VP Hawk in there.
That's right. I might have to supervise that area during those games. But yeah, beautiful space there. And one of the things that we really pushed and I believe we're successful in is we just put power outlets everywhere. So in the cafe, and again, if you walk into the cafe area, you see the students, they're plugged in, charging their phones, charging their laptops. So that was something that, we really took seriously, and that was some of the feedback from the students. So, and then one of the things that the students really wanted in the building was the sort of what I call the multi-use bathrooms, sort of the gender-neutral bathroom spaces. So those were very carefully designed to set really safe, usable spaces, and the students have been very receptive. I think they were very appreciative that they were listened to, because I don't think they thought they were going to get what they wanted, but they did get it. And so they're very cool. So I think, lots of exciting spaces, and I would encourage everybody on campus just to come and take a walk through, kind of wander and get lost in the building and just check the spaces out. And it's fun when I walk through a couple of times a day just to make sure everything's going okay right now. And the number of students I'll ask, can I help you find your classroom? No, I'm just looking around. I'm just looking around. So yeah, I think the feedback, and again, that's what makes it all worthwhile, is the feedback from the students primarily, but also hearing from the instructors. We've had several emails from the instructors. This is great. This is fantastic. So the more engagement we get over the next 6 months, it's going to be really important, because one of the challenges, architects, I like to say architects design buildings to win awards. So they look pretty, and they'll be on the front page of a magazine. But we have to live in them, and we have to use them. So the next 6 months, it's really important to get feedback from the students and from the faculty, so we find out what's working, what's not working, what can we adapt, what we can change, just to make it a highly successful experience for the students.
And then VP Hawken, one last thing before we sign off. Do you have a favorite space in this building?
You know what? I think I like the student lounges the most, because I see the students constantly in here, laptops open. There was a student actually in the corner right behind you taking a little nap the other day, and it's so pleasing, because one of the discussions we have is our students weren't staying on campus. That's been my observation. A lot of part-time students, so they come, they go, but I'm seeing students hang. And to me, that's really exciting as we move forward, with the plans for the college and the institution. And I think it benefits them to have kind of that home, somewhere safe and warm and dry to come and study. So it's been great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, VP Hawken. It was great learning more about this beautiful building. We're excited. I know I'm definitely loving it, right, Ghana? I know you're loving it too. So thank you, our viewers, for watching as well. We'll see you very soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. We'll see you soon.